Over 500 Uber drivers in Victoria have received union certification from BC's Labour Relations Board. Drivers will now be able to bargain for rights with the ride-sharing company. The union representing the employees say that it's the first time gig workers in Canada have had a certified union. Health and safety compensation, as well as benefits, will be part of those bargaining discussions, according to a spokesperson. The process took about a year for drivers to organize together and sign union cards. And my next guest welcomes this news. She was part of this effort. Beatrice Nahernick is an Uber driver in Victoria and was actually the city's first Uber driver. And she joins me now from Victoria. Thank you so much, Beatrice, for sharing your story with us today. Yeah, I've been covering this story almost from the very beginning with the discontent from Uber drivers. I mean, this is a long time coming. How do you feel about it?
Well, I'm excited and thank you for talking to me. But I'm excited that we've got a union. It gives us so much more position of, information. We can find out where, there'll be full transparency on where the money goes and what happens and so on and so forth. And, and we have an opportunity to add some benefits for some of the younger drivers we have that have young families and things, so they get some support that way. And of course the safety issue, we can bring that up too. So those are big points, and it's nice to have that ability to be able to do that.
Absolutely. And this, from the sounds of it, was a very big fight. Having talked to so many Uber drivers, I know that many felt that without a union, they were out there alone with no real structure whenever something went wrong. You were a part of this process of unionization. Tell me what that was like. Did it feel like a big fight?
Well, I don't know that any major corporation stands up and says, "Hey, come on in to a union." But we went through the legal process and just kept our head down and worked at it until we got enough numbers. And then they couldn't stop it. I mean, they tried hard, but yeah. Good for us for sticking in there, I guess. Yeah. Sorry.
And it's that sounds like there's a story behind that sentiment of sticking with it, for sure. Take us through some of the issues that push this forward.
Well, Victoria isn't that big of a city, and we got 500 people to sign union cards. That's a lot of union cards. So we were concerned that if we didn't have enough cards signed, we wouldn't have the numbers to try to get that through, right? Because it's all a numbers game for the union. They'll certify when they have enough numbers to do that. So we worked hard to get all those people on board and to sign their cards. The representatives would be out at the airport where we have a waiting area, or at the ferries where there's a waiting area, or we have lots of Teslas that Uber people drive, like myself. I drive a Tesla. So they'd set it where the Teslas charge here in Victoria. So there was a lot of work, a lot of time on the ground. So it was a real grassroots movement, I guess.
And Beatrice, in many ways, the Uber driver was really the first gig worker. What do you think this means for other Uber drivers and then other gig workers across Canada?
Well, yeah, the law last summer, the government in BC put in a law guaranteeing a minimum wage for all gig workers. It actually cut my wages down, but for the other people that drive for Skip Dishes or Uber Eats, that their wages had gone down so low that they couldn't, it wasn't worth it to drive for them anymore. So this brought their wages up. It brought us down a little bit, but together we all generally benefited, right? So, but that's one of the things we want transparency for as a union, to see how that money changed. And we used to get this much, now we only get this much. And why is that? Where did that money go? Because I don't think the Uber people, the customers, are paying less. So, having a union to be able to look at those things, I think is really important for us.
Given your role in these early stages, do you see yourself taking on a more leadership position as this moves forward?
I have at other times in my life, but I'm retired. I love driving Uber. I mean, it's an amazing job. I only work when I feel like it. I bring my dog to work with me, and I get to drive my Tesla. All things I love. So I love being an Uber driver in Victoria. And so I'm probably not going to stop doing that. But how much bigger of a role I want to get involved in the union, well, it just kind of has to be seen. You know, I'm 68, so lots of people younger than me would be more qualified, I think. So it just depends on what the people want, right? That's what a union's about. So.
And Beatrice, a little bit of
sure.
a less serious question, but really quickly, because we got to wrap up. What is your dog's name?
Her name is Honey Toes because her front feet have a little brown on them. It's like they were dipped in honey. So.
Well, Honey
And
Toes
she's
is very
20.
well behaved. Thank you for bringing her along.
Hey, no problem. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time. Beatrice Naharnik is Victoria's first Uber driver, and as you heard there, her dog is Honey Toes.